Next up, we have His Grace Madhavananda Prabhu. Madhavananda Prabhu is visiting us here in Boston. He initially came across Bhakti Yoga, I believe, in Los Angeles in the 1980s. In the early 90s, he moved to Bhubaneswar, Orissa, and has been living there ever since. So I'm sure he has many, many beautiful stories about Lord Jagannatha, especially to share with us on this amazing day. He is also heavily involved in one of ISKCON's publishing houses, so he is very knowledgeable and has extensive knowledge with respect to the Bhakti Yoga philosophy. If you could give a round of applause and welcome His Grace Madhavananda Prabhu. He has also requested that all of us come a little bit forward. He's going to do some creative storytelling, so I'm very excited, and I think it would be great if we all moved a little bit closer just to make this a more intimate storytelling event. Welcome.
Thank you, Radhika. I'd like to see if everybody here can sit on my lap. Please, everybody come all the way really close up, all the way up here, all the way up here. Bring the chairs all the way up here. Please come up all the way. That's really good. You know, I've been watching today Radhika while she's been doing emceeing. She's fantastic. I just hope everybody appreciates her. And I think the last two girls have already left, but Karuna and Melissa, I've been living in Jagannath Puri for 26 years, and I've seen a lot of Odissi dance. That's where it comes from. And those two girls were amazing. To dance like for 20 minutes, and every single step is an exact, it takes years and years of hard work and practice and things to do that. We should really appreciate that. So anybody else back there, if you want to come close, I'm really happy. I like that. I took a bath last week, so don't feel nervous. Come up. So, the closest thing we can find in this world to bhakti is art. And there's different types of art. Art ultimately, in its purest sense, is meant to raise the consciousness and bring us closer to the supreme consciousness. And therefore we have Odissi dance for that purpose. And there's traditional classical Indian singing. And different paintings and different types of art. So I'd like to present a little something to you tonight, which we call Hari Katha, or Krishna Katha. And this is something that I heard from my Spirit Guru Maharaj, Sri Srimad Gaur Govinda Maharaj. It's a very special story I'd like to share with you, but first I want to offer a little prayer to him. Gora Braganya Ganaruharam Gora Palagada Ratidamyati Singha Gora So I was thinking today, what are we going to say about this festival? And what does this festival mean to us? Because if it doesn't mean something to me as an individual person, then it's just some ritual. Isn't it maybe some cultural thing? What is the meaning of this festival in one sentence? The meaning of this festival is rescuing God from mechanical religion and bringing him to the village of our hearts. That's the meaning of this festival. And it celebrates the victory of love over ritual. It celebrates that when the devotee cries for God, God cries for his devotee. There's a story in Orissa in this regard that maybe I should have just, let's see. I have to go at a certain time or I'm in trouble. There's a story in Orissa, which, up until the time of my Guru Maharaj, to my knowledge, had never been spoken in the West. And I'd like to share that with you today. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But to show the love of his devotees in Vrindavan, he left Vrindavan. And he went to the place called Dwarka. And in Dwarka, everybody worships Krishna with so much opulence and awe and reverence. And meanwhile, in Vrindavan, Krishna's dear devotees, and especially the gopis, his most intimate, loving devotees. They were crying in separation from him. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yegatam mam prapadyante, tam sataiva bhajamyaham, that as someone approaches me, I reciprocate with him accordingly. So when the devotee cries for God, God cries for his devotee. And Krishna at night, he began crying and crying. And the queens, Krishna's married queens in Dwarka, got together one morning and said, what is this? He's our husband, but at night he's crying Gopi, Gopi, and he's calling out the name of some other girl. And his pillow is becoming soaking wet with his tears. What is this? Finally, it became too much for Krishna. And one day, Krishna finally to the ground, unconscious. Although he's a Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he's worshipped in all the temples and mosques, synagogues, and places all over the world as the Supreme Being, out of love for his devotee, he's fallen unconscious on the ground. And so at that time, a few devotees, Narad Muni, Balaram, Uddhava, and Subhadra, Krishna's sister, got together and they were discussing what can we do to bring Krishna back to external consciousness. And Narad Muni said, I know the medicine. We sing some Braj Lila Kahani. We sing some pastimes of Vrindavan. And Krishna will regain external consciousness. He said, very good. So Narad, you do that. And Narad Muni said, no, you don't understand. There's a problem. What's the problem? The problem is that if we do that, then Krishna is going to want to return to Vrindavan immediately. No problem. So we'll call for Nandi Ghosh. Nandi Ghosh is Krishna's chariot. We'll call for Daruka. Daruka is Krishna's chariot driver. And he can go. Narad Muni said, no, you don't understand. You see, if Krishna returns to Vrindavan now, and he sees the condition of the Brijbasis, and the feelings of separation that they have for him, I don't know what will happen to Krishna. So someone has to go ahead to give a message that Krishna's coming. So they said, Uddhava, Krishna used you as his messenger before, you should go. And Uddhava said, I can't go. Why not? Previously, Krishna sent me with a message of love. And I went there, and I tried to console the gopis and Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda, Krishna's parents, but I saw that no matter what I said, it had no effect. So I realized there's only one thing that I can tell them. Krishna's returning soon. He's just coming very soon. Otherwise, they're going to die in separation. So if I return now, Krishna never returned. If I go back there now and tell them that Krishna's coming, they're going to say, Uddhava, you're a liar. Previously you told us this. They won't believe me. So I can't. So then they said, Balaram, you should go. And Balaram hung his head. And he said, I also can't go. Previously Krishna sent me with a message from here in Dwarka. And I returned to Vrindavan. I tried to console Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda and the gopis. But I could also see that nothing I was trying to tell them worked. And finally, I could see there's only one thing I can tell them. Don't worry. When I return to Dwarka, I'm going to tell Krishna he must return. He must return very soon. And my words kept them alive. And I returned to Dwarka. Balaram is famous as Dauji. He's a big brother. He said, Krishna always listens to me. But this time, for some reason, he didn't listen. And he didn't return to Vrindavan. So I can't go. If I go and try to tell them Krishna's returning, they're going to say, Balaram, you're a liar. I can't go. At that time, Krishna's little sister, Subhadra, she stood up and she said, I'll go. Everyone knows that men are very crooked and women are very simple. They'll believe me. I'll go there and I'll climb into the lap of Mother Yashoda and I'll wipe away her tears and Now tell her, Mom, Krishna's returning. Krishna's returning. Just